Various reactions continue to trail the raid on the judges by the Directorate of State Security, most recent being the extent which the National Assembly can interfere in the matters concerning the judiciary. Does the Constitution give jurisdiction for the legislature to investigate the judiciary? Having been torn along thin lines and in a bid to save itself from relegation, the All Progressives Grand Alliance National Working Committee holds emergency meeting and resolves to resurrect the party and make it relevant in the political sphere. That's our focus on the program tonight. Many thanks for joining in, everyone. This is Politics Today, live on Channels Television. We are reaching you from Lagos. I'm Emana Amawe. And tonight, we look into President Muhammadu Buhari's anti-corruption war, the DSS raid on the judges, and the issues arising from the spotlight being beamed on the judiciary. We also look at the All Progressives Grand Alliance efforts at coming out of crisis that has plagued the party for some time now. Well, don't be left out on the conversation. Brace up, everyone. It's going to be an exciting ride. Let's get set. But remember, we're also live right now on Facebook. You can watch, comment, and be part of the show. But first of all, let's take a look at some of the top political stories we've been following right now.
Political roundup on Channels Television. Here are your top political stories this time.
The Chief Justice of Nigeria has formally presented the National Judicial Policy Guidelines and inaugurated an Ethics Standing Committee to provide oversight over judicial officers and courts. Justice Mahmood Mohammed says the move is aimed at ensuring the integrity and independence of the Nigerian judiciary and will serve as an avenue to rid the sector of acts that are not in line with the rule of law and due process. According to the CJN, though the policy and the decision to set up the committee predates the events of the 7th and 8th of October 2016, the policy will ensure discipline among judicial officers and give room for quality justice delivery.
The national judicial policy is born out of the realization that the Nigerian judiciary had been adversely affected by the absence of a clear, coordinated policy.
And in a bid to drive economic development and sustain its transparency, accountability and zero tolerance for corruption in the state public service, the Kogi State Governor, Mr. Yahaya Bello, has promised to implement recommendations from the Fiscal Responsibility Committee. Governor Bello gave this assurance while receiving the report and recommendation of the ad hoc committee in Government House, Lokoja. The governor says if government will match words with actions, only then will corruption in the state civil service be minimized.
We have the political will to implement to the letter recommendations of those various committees.
Ahead of the 2017 governorship election in Anambra State, various political parties are already laying claims to victory. At a youth mobilization meeting at the People's Democratic Party headquarters in Awka, the state chairman of the party, Mr. Ken Emekayi, says the plans have already been concluded to upstage the ruling party in the state.
All we demand is that in the forthcoming governorship election in Anambra State, that every vote must count.
But the party at the helm of affairs in the state, the All Progressives Grand Alliance, APGA, insists that the PDP is not a threat to its second-term ambition.
There's no vacancy in Government House. Anambrarians, APGA are ready. APGA has given an Anambrarian the sense of belonging.
And you're up to date. Those are your top political stories you need to know.
Well, thanks for staying with us, everyone. Let's begin the show proper tonight with a meeting which took place earlier on at the presidential villa between the progressive governors of the All Progressives Congress and the nation's #1 man, President Muhammadu Buhari. Several issues were raised concerning matters as they affect national development, with an appeal on all Nigerians to be patient with the administration, as it will soon pull Nigerians out of the woods. Chairman of the Progressive Governors Forum and the Imo State Governor, Richard Okorocha, said they were particularly pleased with the president on the release of the Chibok girls, and also pleaded with the president to do all in his powers to ensure the release of the remaining girls. The governors also commended the effort so far in diversifying the economy and the fight against corruption, and also called on the federal government to sustain its efforts.
Of course, Mr. President, on a lot of national issues, burning national issues, and we also commended him and congratulated him on the release of the 21 Chibok girls. And we're saying whatever was done to get these girls out should be repeated so that the rest of them will come out as quickly as possible. We talked about his agricultural policy, which is now yielding very serious results. And there's bumper harvest this year, and we're hoping that if we continue with this agricultural policy, the anchor borrowers of CBN and all that, that very soon the hunger in the land will be a thing of the past, and the price of rice will come down seriously. So that's on that. And the issue of corruption, we encourage him to continue. As painful as it is, as challenging as it is, we should continue to see how we can salvage the situation in our country.
Chairman of the Progressive Governors Forum and Governor of Imo State, Richard Okorocha. Now to our main focus for the day. The All Progressives Congress, the All Progressives Grand Alliance, beg your pardon, has been riddled with its own share of crisis from allegations that Governor Willie Obiano of Anambra State has plans to cross carpet to the All Progressives Congress to the suspension of the party's national chairman, Victor Oye, over alleged anti-party practices, while the National Working Committee of the party has held an emergency meeting in an attempt at what it calls reviving the party from relegation. And here are some of the resolutions arrived at that meeting. Well, the party resolved that, first of all, the suspension of Victor Ike Oye as the national chairman of APGA was inevitable and remains valid, and any statement to the contrary at any quarter remains invalid. Well, the party also went ahead to state its support for the good leadership of Governor Willie Obiano, saying that it believes in his leadership, and whatever issues being bandied about between the parties, National Working Committee, the BOT chairman, and Governor Willie Obiano was just in the imagination of people working against the party. Another thing the party arrived at is that the leadership shall continue to defend and protect the Constitution and Manifesto of APGA to the benefit of Nigerians in the country and in diaspora. And it also says that the leadership will continue to collaborate with leaders of APGA across board for the onerous purpose of rebuilding, strengthening the party.